Alright, so first thing I need to do is turn the AC off. What's up, YouTube? We are back, season 1, episode 10 of this awesome weight loss journey. I'm your host, Brian, and today we got a lot to talk about. Alright, so check this out. This has been a phenomenal week. We hit a big milestone this week. In fact, let's just get it right out of the way and head to the scale right now. So 179.2, I'm loving the fact that we're down into a new, I call those little mini milestones every time we break into a new 10th, right? Like so from the 180s to the 170s to the 160s or 260s or whatever the hell it is. 279.2. Feeling really good about that. It's just more and more and more affirmation that what we're doing is working. And I think this week has really been the week of affirmation for me because I was in the gym 5 straight days, no problem shooting. I didn't even think twice about it this week, which was really good. You know, I said practice makes perfect. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think in the last video, maybe it was the video before last, I'll have something up there in the card up there. If you want to check that out. But I was having a really difficult time getting the confidence to bring camera equipment into the gym and shoot. And I think the less I think about it, the better I get at it. And that's evident in A, the amount of footage that I'm getting, and B, the fact that I just don't even think about it anymore. But all of these little milestones that really kind of affirm what it is that I'm doing and reinforcing the fact that I'm doing the right things. You know, I noticed this week when I was in the gym, it was arm day, I think on Friday, I just glanced at the camera and I was doing shoulder raises and I looked, and in my head, my arm was ripped. But when I went back and looked at the footage, I just could see some definition. You know, it's like I could see my deltoid bicep split, which is kind of right here, where your deltoid ends and your bicep begins, and it was just like, wow, hey, this is working, right? Like, this isn't a joke. This wasn't some scam. You didn't get bamboozled. This is really fucking working. And it was just a good feeling, you know, when you do things and you see results, man. Especially when you work as hard as we work, because let's face it, this shit is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So yeah, big motivation for me this week, and I'm feeling really good reflecting on that that week's worth of work. So that being said, let's go check out some workout stuff, and then we'll come back because I have some interesting things to talk about today. Let's go to the gym.
We go forever now. We go for it, I can do better. I'm so in love with the chatter. I'm so in love with my little boo. It was written like a letter. Think I was born with the juice. Think I was born with the sauce. Think I was born a little crazy. Then I turned up to a boss. Gotta go and get it. I keep running up the digits. Lost my mind, I gotta fix it. Kill the beat, cold killing. Need to change the way I'm living. Never sleeping, I'm tripping. This is forever and ever. We live forever and ever, yeah. We go forever and ever, yeah. You know that I'm a trendsetter. You wish that you can do better. No.
So look, the next part of this video is going to be kind of sporadic, and I want to apologize ahead of time. And if you aren't the type of person that struggles with eating and food, then you probably just want to skip the rest of the video, because that's pretty much going to be all there is until maybe like the last 3 minutes. But I wanted to take some time because I feel like this is important and I really need to discuss it. And let me explain where this is coming from. So I spend a lot of time on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and I follow a lot of people's weight loss journeys. And I've always done that. I did this last time I had a YouTube channel. I used to be really big in the weight loss surgery community. I don't talk about this much, but I had lat band surgery about 10 years ago, and I had an issue with it. It doesn't work anymore. It still sits in my body, but it doesn't do anything, and that's a whole other story for another video. But I watch these people's journeys and I watch the changes that they go through mentally and physically, because weight loss, whether it's with surgery or if you just eat healthy and work out all the time or whatever your method is, right? There is a huge mental and huge physical shift that takes place. And a lot of people struggle with that. And some people, it causes them to just give up completely. Some people it drives them crazy. Some people it drives them to divorce. I mean, I've seen it all. And one topic for me that has kind of popped up a lot in my feeds this week and I wanted to address was that of food. I don't really know where to begin with this, so I think what I want to do is just maybe pick 3 or 4 things off the top of my head that I see happen a lot and maybe address those. You know, the first thing, and I think probably the most important thing, is there are people out there that have a problem with food. They turn to food when they're sad. They turn to food when they're happy. They turn to food when they don't know what to do. They turn to food when they're bored. I used to be one of these people. I eat whenever I'm bored. I would go get something to eat. I wasn't ever an emotional eater. Really, the only time I would eat was when it was out of boredom. But I did do that, and I was aware that I did that. And I think that's where self-awareness plays a really big role, in stopping and analyzing what you're doing and saying, hey, where am I at right now? But food, and this is the point that I wish I could just reach through the lens and get across to people, is that food isn't the bad guy, right? Food isn't the thing to hate. It's not the thing to be afraid of. It's ourselves. And this kind of falls back onto a larger philosophy that we control much more of our lives than we give ourselves credit for. But I don't want to get off on that tangent right now. This isn't a motivational speech, right? We can't be afraid of the things that we eat. Our body needs food. And for me, I had to come to a point where I was like, look, what I'm doing is not working. This is not sustainable. It's sustainable, but I'm going to die, right? I have to find a way of thinking about food that's not self-destructive. And this is coming from somebody who made a living feeding people, right? I spent many years of my life as a chef, and it was my job to make great food and to eat and to taste things. And food was this wonderful thing that I wanted to share with everybody. And it is a wonderful thing, but we have to retrain our brains to think about it differently. I'm no expert in emotional eating. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist or any of that stuff. I just know what I've experienced and what I had to do to deal with those things. And for me, I think the main thing was I recognized right away that if it's in my house, I'm going to eat it at some point, right? And if you look in my house, there's hardly any food here. There's what I need to eat for the week. There's a couple of things that maybe I could snack on, but for the most part, I don't have a lot of extra stuff. I don't have a lot of bread. I don't have a lot of ice cream. My freezer's almost empty. I had to get those things out of here. And I still do that even today. It's been several years since I started this process, but having that temptation not be there forces me to find other things to do. You know, the next thing that I would recommend if eating is a problem is to start planning ahead. Now, I know that we come from a place where we don't think about this stuff. What am I eating today? How many grams of protein did I have today? How much fat have I consumed today? Thinking about food like it's your budget, like your finances, or like it's some quantitative thing that I have to manage every single day of my life sucks, right? It fucking sucks. It's not something we're used to. We come from a place where we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to think about what we're putting in our mouth hole. We didn't have to think about how many macros we had. But we also come from a place of being obese, of not being able to climb stairs, of not being able to walk a block, of heart disease, of diabetes, of pick any number of comorbidities. We also come from that place, right? And to get out of that place, we have to do things differently. And this is where your why comes in. And again, this is not going to be a motivational thing. This is just we're reinforcing these things that you know. If you've watched any motivational speaker on the internet, you know what I'm talking about when I say self-awareness. You know what I'm talking about when I say what's your why. You know these things. And if you don't, send me a message. I'll send you a ton of links, because there are people out there that do a hell of a lot better job of motivating you than I can. But that's where your why comes in. Is it that important to you? I hope that it is. I really hope that it is. But you just have to, because it's your job now. Now, I can tell you this, there are ways of eating that are not so strenuous. There are ways of doing things in your daily routine that are not so difficult. Go do a search for meal prep, right? You'll find 1,000 recipes that you can make from 4 or 5 ingredients, and you put in these little plastic containers and label them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and there's your meals for the whole week. And that works for a lot of people. And I did that for a long time. I got to a point where I didn't need to do that anymore, but it took months and months and months of training my brain to think differently about how I ate. The next thing that I could say, and this happens a lot, is when people blow their goals, right? Like, I'm eating 2,300 calories a day. Oh, crap. They brought donuts to work and I had 2. It's okay, right? It's okay. You don't have to eat chicken and broccoli and rice every single meal of every single day to lose weight and be healthy. You can have a donut. You can have a slice of pizza. Now, don't go eat a whole pizza. Don't go eat a dozen donuts. Maybe don't get the cream-filled chocolate glazed eclair. Better bad choices. This is one thing that my nutritionist taught me a long time ago. I used to go to a nutritionist, and he taught me how to make better bad choices. You know, if you're at McDonald's with your friends, right, and you know in your head, hey, I've got some calories to blow today, don't go order the double quarter pounder with extra sauce and, 8 slices of cheese, add bacon. But maybe get a grilled chicken sandwich. Maybe get a fillet of fish. Maybe get one of those small cheeseburgers and a small fry. It's okay. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to be. That hamburger's not going to be the thing, right? That 7-layer burrito's not going to be the thing that sets you back 6 months in your weight loss journey, right? You can eat damn near anything out there. Log it in your app. Log it on your notepad. However it is you're tracking macros, and I hope you're tracking macros. And if you look, you've probably got calories left for the rest of the day. It's not the end of the world. I see so many times people are like, oh, I can't eat this food. I can't eat that food. Yeah, you can. You really, really can. I promise you can. Now, don't go do that every day. If you go eat a Big Mac every single day for lunch and the rest of your days are, super, super clean, maybe that's sustainable. I don't know. It's up to your body type, really. But chances are it's probably not, unless you're working out for 2 hours a day. You got to burn those calories, right? But how often do we actually go out to eat, right? How often do we actually find ourselves in a situation where there's a cheeseburger, let me eat that. How many days do people bring donuts to your office? I mean, if it's more than once or twice a week, I'm going to go work at your place, right? And I guess all of this really is boiling down to one real central philosophy, and that is, don't sweat it. It is not that big of a deal. It's just food. You have to respect food, kind of, right? Like, it has a role. And how we think about it, kind of like any other situation, is going to determine how we respond to it. And if you stress over food, it's going to always be a problem. If you take a step back and say, hey, it's not that big of a deal, then it won't be that big of a deal. There's a lot. So much information, so much stuff, so many different opinions. And you're always wondering, am I doing this right? It's simple. Are you losing weight? Do you feel good? Are you hungry? Then you're doing it right. It doesn't matter what fitness influencer A says, or fitness influencer B says, or your doctor says, or your nutritionist says, or even what I say. Are you reaching your goals? Are you happy? And this one's important, because in order to reach your goals, you have to do certain things, but you're not going to continue to do those things over a long period of time, i.e. the rest of your life, if you're not happy. You have to find a way to do both. This isn't a diet. Your weight loss journey is not a test. It's not an exam. It's not a trip to Seattle. It's a lifestyle change, a life change, right? We're rebuilding the way that we do things at our core. I'm on the surface level, not where people can see. We have to take it piece by piece, step by step. And we have to make sure every time we do that, every single iteration, every single fragment, every single section, however you want to break it down, we're analyzing those things. Are we meeting our goals? Are we happy? That's how you succeed. That's how you get 3, 4, 5, 6 years in, and you're still doing it every single day. That's how you don't quit after 6 months. That's how you don't give up, throw your hands in the air, order 3 large pizzas and a case of Dr. Pepper from DoorDash, and pig out watching TV and just say, fuck it. This is what we call balance, right? Keeping this sane. I think the last thing that I would talk about, and I say last, I could probably do this for 5 hours, but I'm looking at the timer here, and I'm running on quite a few minutes. I don't want this to be a 30-minute video. I think the last thing that I would say in terms of food is just do a little research, right? And if you don't know how to research, if you don't know where to go, if it gets to be confusing, right? Go seek out an expert. One of the most amazing things that I ever did, and I didn't even do it for myself, I had a friend do it for me, was to go see a nutritionist. I live in Houston, and I'm fortunate enough to be in a city where we have a plethora of people in the fitness and nutrition industry here. And he set me up with a nutritionist who works with professional athletes and professional bodybuilders. It was very expensive, but it was great information. I spent 6 months going to him, just learning how to eat and learning about food and learning about vitamins and learning about nutrients. It's kind of like a nutrition class. But I didn't go to a college, I didn't go read it out of a book or by some guy on the internet who I didn't know. Not to say that any of those sources are bad. I just wanted to see what someone who works with people who have results would say. And I mean, this guy trains bodybuilders and Olympians and professional athletes. That's a lot of clout. I would probably trust his opinion. And he gave me great information. And information that I carry today and that I share with other people. But you don't have to go do that, right? Not everybody has money for that. I certainly don't have money for that. But I mean, I did at the time, and I'm glad that I did that, you know. But there are plenty of people out there, and if you find somebody you trust or you think you trust, and you want to go get information from them, that's great. And try it. And if it works, stick with it. If it doesn't work, try something else. The best part about this, right? The best part about losing weight, the best part about our journey It's just like any other journey or any other trip or any other adventure. Sometimes you make wrong turns. And you just stop, pull over on the side of the road, take your map out, look at where you've been, look at where you want to go, and figure out how to get there. That's it. And don't sweat it when that happens, right? It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of your life. No one thing that you do throughout the course of this journey, besides maybe jumping off a bridge, is going to end it for you. No meal, no missed workout. It's not the end of the world. Just evaluate it, figure out what you're going to do to keep that from happening again, and move on. Because you're worth it. I know I'm worth it. And I believe in you. I know it's possible. It's why I document my journey. Because I'm living my dream. I'm building my dreams. And you can too. So that's it. That's all I got. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Thanks for sticking with us through that. I really appreciate it. You know, I've just had that on my mind for a few days now, and I had to get it off my chest, you know. I just really feel like I needed to say that, and hopefully somebody out there will get something from that that insight. So that's all we got this week, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Subscribe if you want to see more content, and of course the bell over there in the corner if you want to get notified when we drop new videos, because that's our thing, right? Oh, new food content coming out this week. I think I'm going to try a high protein pancake recipe I caught on TikTok, so that should be fun. And we might have an announcement this week. It might be next week. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time. Take care.